readers, countrymen. Hello and welcome back to the Brothers Gwyn channel. You might have noticed there's a slight difference. William has changed shape and he's become a dachshund. Now this is Dottie, my fellow companion today, and we're going to be doing videos a little bit differently over the next few months. As William is gearing up for going to university, we're going to be split by basically all of the UK because William wanted to get away from me. But anyway, yeah, we're really excited to do different views as well. And what we're going to do is every book we read, we're basically just going to do a review on our own, and then our monthly wrap-ups will be together and we'll give a quick kind of short review for each of those books as well. So we'll still be doing videos together, but this way I get to do, get to talk about books in a bit more detail that William might not be reading, or he might have read in the past, or he might not have read yet. So yeah, today the first one I'm going to be tackling is At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop. And this was a Booker Prize winner. And I'll just give a quick synopsis. It'll be spoiler free to start with. And then when I get to the end, I will read a short passage and I'll chat about what I think of it. And then we'll take it from there. But yeah, there won't be many spoilers here whatsoever. So this is about a man called Alpha Ndaye. And he is a Senegalese man who, never before having left his village, finds himself fighting as a so-called chocolat soldier with the French army during World War I. When his friend Mademba Diop in the same regiment is seriously injured in battle, Diop begs Alpha to kill him and spare him the pain of a long and agonizing death in no man's land. Unable to commit this mercy killing, madness creeps into Alpha's mind as he comes to see this refusal as a cruel moment of cowardice. So then Alpha goes on this revenge quest to perform this ritual. Every night he sneaks across the enemy lines and then he murders a blue-eyed German soldier. Every night he returns back to base unharmed with the German's severed hand. At first his comrades look at him as a hero. He is an amazing soldier. He has performed things that no other man could. He's kind of a super soldier. But then eventually their mindset starts changing as he brings back more and more hands. They see that he is on this horrific path that he's put himself on in the name of his friend Diop. And the rumors spread and they kind of start to believe that he's a sorcerer, a soul eater, that kind of thing. And they want to get him away from the lines, get him away from the war. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this was a Booker Prize winner. That does not surprise me whatsoever. What I love about this is that it takes a piece of history, World War I, that everyone has heard of, and it focuses on a part of it that is not talked about enough, and it's the Senegalese fighters with the French during World War I. And this book is every bit as bloody as the premise suggests. There is gore and slow, painful torture. I mean, not like there's any other kind of torture really, but yeah, the pain and the torture is brutal, and there is a deep philosophical vein running throughout this book, and I just love the premise of it. It's a soldier that has put himself, he's been able to put his friend out of misery, and then he's taken it to heart, so much so that his now life is dedicated to murdering these Germans in the name of his friend, trying to accomplish some sort of goal. The storytelling is masterful. There are layers upon layers here that you can really get into, and like all good stories, there's an element of where the reader is able to interpret the good writing, especially with that slap in the face ending. The story gets better and it tackles so many important themes as well as PTSD, colonialism, racism and war. To me, the prose isn't quite as flowing, as lyrical, efficient or captivating as I was hoping for, as it could have been. I think the captivating aspect of this is the matter of the thoughts of the character for me. I may not be mad on the prose as there is lots of repetition, but maybe that's due to the fact that this is a translation into English. I would love to have read this in French, just to kind of get that authentic touch, but obviously that's what translators are for. The metaphors seem to be quite blunt. It seems to be a bit heavy-handed at times, but perhaps that was on purpose because it is a story about warfare, and there's no glorification here whatsoever. It is, it is blunt as it gets, really. But for me, the repetitive nature of the prose of the storytelling of the first person narrative felt a little bit melodramatic to me. And I know Warfare is as dramatic as anything can get. I just think that for me, I was looking for a little bit more nuance and subtlety that would have made the book blow my socks off, basically. And I think one way to have improved that was to turn it from first person into third person. If it's, first person, he's relaying what has happened to him, and it feels like he's going on, and because of the repetition, that's what made it feel melodramatic to me. If it was third person, I probably wouldn't have felt that at all. But I mean, to explore these dark, horrifying aspects of Warfare and the nature of it is something that has been written on the page and told orally since mankind could ever express it. And I do much prefer this style of storytelling, boots on the ground, in your face, unquestionably shameful and painful warfare rather than glorifying it. And there is so much to like, and the ending is what solidified it as a great read for me. So now I'll just quickly read a passage from the book and talk about it, and then I will wrap up. But there's a part in the book, and it goes, "I heard the singing of the enemies with matching blue eyes very clearly, because that evening I happened to be right next to their trench. God's truth, I had crawled right up to them without their seeing me, and I waited until they'd finished singing before I caught one. I waited until silence fell, until they had relaxed, and I extracted one like you'd extract a tiny baby from its mother's belly, with a violent tenderness to minimize the shock, to minimize the sound." I mean, that speaks very powerfully to me. The nature of the writing, it feels as if the character, he's hunting, but he's not hunting a human. It doesn't sound like that. It has this animalistic and, kind of barbarian nature to it even. But it is very, very powerful. And the mission that he is on as a character is fantastic to read, is dark and horrifying, but it is also well worth the read. It's only 150 pages. It's so easy to read. I read it in a day, but maybe take longer just so you can kind of, decompress and consider everything in a greater detail. But that was At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop. I definitely want to read more Booker Prize winners, and this was a great beginner. It's a small book, beautiful cover, and it is just something that I'll be thinking of for a very long time. Thank you. Truth and Courage, The Brother Gwyn.